Hello and welcome to this first guide for MaxTAF Cloud. In this guide I'll be doing a sort of description of the product. I'll be taking you through the platform and just showing you all the different areas that exist within the platform and the different ways in which MaxTAF can really help a Selenium developer. So just a brief description of the product. MaxTAF is a entirely in-browser Selenium specialized platform that essentially allows you to write tests, run tests, report on tests, and then schedule tests, as well as providing with a lot of different tools and functionalities to achieve some more complex testing that often teams would need to develop develop themselves in-house. So that's the general idea. Let's take you there. So you go to this URL beta.maxtaf.com and you're presented with this screen. This is just the sign in. You can register if you don't have an account, but if you do, you can simply sign in. So I'll just sign in here. And you will be taken to this page, which is the projects page. So essentially, we allow you as a user to divide your test data into as many projects as you like. Simply allows you to keep your data, your tests, your reports, and so on, nice and clear, nice and distinct. Which is obviously advantageous if you have multiple different sort of testing streams going at once. So take you to this examples project. This will be available to you and every account that's made, and it's supposed to just allow you to see what sort of things are possible with MaxTAF. So you can copy tests from here if you need them, if they seem useful to you. So we're here in the home page here, nothing particularly special here, but the first sort of major section of MaxTAF is the cases. So the cases is where you'll spend a lot of your time if you are developing and scripting tests. So from here you basically can administer to individual test cases. You can export your cases, you can import cases, you can create new tests and so on. So an individual case is here. Here's an example. This test does something. It's supposed to be describing one of our data-driven tests. And there are lots of different tabs. You have your script tab here. You can actually work directly on your test from this tab. You don't need any IDE or anything like that. And there's lots of utilities which we'll cover in a separate video. You can set up a schedule for this test to run. And you can also see any past test runs, the run logs, passes, fails, essentially a kind of top level report here. Okay, so that's cases in a nutshell. Then we have your suites. So suites are essentially test batches. So you can put as many of your individual test cases into suites, and that will help you essentially bundle up tests for sort of more themed test runs. If you need to test a specific aspect of a platform, for example, a product that you're testing, or anything else that you might feel a need to group tests up for. It's a fairly standard feature in automation tools. Then we have our runs section. So we have our active runs. At the moment, nothing's running, and your completed runs. So these are all the runs that up to date that we have completed, and you can go into the run, and this acts essentially the same way that those logs we saw earlier work. This gives you the information that you would want. There's an option to record a video of a test run. This one's only 2 seconds, so that's all it did. That's an example. Then we have a log if you decide to log it, run anything to the log. Parameters used, we'll cover that in a later tool, but MaxTAF has very powerful parameterization to help you control test data. Here's the code that you run the test with. And yeah, that's about it. So that's the completed runs section. You can also check a report for your completed runs. Now this is just one test case, so it's only going to show one failure, and actually this test says that it was broken, for example, so this test was broken. So yeah, that's those are the main sort of sections for the sort of active day-to-day usage. You also have a scheduler. So at the moment we have one schedule which wants things to run at 4:30 p.m. On a daily basis. So bear that in mind. Scheduling is very useful, obviously, for sort of after-hours testing. And then we have a workspace here. So this brings MaxTAF into more of an IDE style application. At the moment we cover Java and Python languages, and if you explore through, you'll be able to see different libraries that you can upload to MaxTAF to fully extend your testing to any of the available libraries that you might want to use with Selenium. So that's a quick overview of MaxTAF. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of everything that you can achieve through the different sections of MaxTAF. And future videos will cover some more sort of detailed guides and how-tos and explanations of different concepts within MaxTAF, because there's a lot more than I showed you here.